Well, they sure bent, but they didn't break. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday here on Dodgers Latest. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Always hit me up right there on Instagram on an X at JRodShow. And yeah, the Dodgers, they are oh so close. They made us sweat again. A 5-4 win in extra innings last night in the desert. Dodgers blew a 4-1 lead. They blew a 4-0 lead the night before. The bullpen was equal parts to blame, equal parts good. And the Dodgers now are one win away from winning the National League West title. And of course, we always invite you to hang out with us here at Dodgers Latest. We heard you yesterday. Tons of comments about the possibility of using the bullpen of no relievers, just starters. Have Blake Snell start a game and then bring in Emmett Sheehan right behind him. Have Ohtani start a game and then bring in Roboleski right behind him. Well, we saw a little bit of that last night as auditions were possibly made. We saw Clayton Kershaw come out of the bullpen last night. I think that's what we're going to see a lot in the postseason. And of course, we invite you to make your comments. We read them all. We'll read them here on air. We're actually going to talk about a couple of them. And what I think is the comment of the year, by the way, by you guys. You guys are doing a great job. But let's, first things first, let's talk about last night. And yeah, magic number is 1 to win the National League West. San Diego does not play today, so the Dodgers 2.5 games up with 4 games to go. The Padres only have 3 games left. Dodgers win today, and it's all over. They're the NL West champs, and they'll clinch the number 3 seed in the playoffs. The Brewers and Phillies are already in as division winners. They're the 1 and the 2, so the Dodgers would play the worst wild card, which right now it's the Mets. They have a 1-game lead over Arizona and Cincinnati. Arizona, obviously, finishing up their series with the Dodgers. They go to San Diego over the weekend, so they'll have something to play for. Cincinnati, they play the Pirates and the Brewers. Don't know if the Brewers will have much to play for, so Cincinnati may have an advantage. The Cubs, well, they will host the Mets tonight, and then New York will head to Miami against the Marlins, who, by the way, have put on a late-season run. The Marlins are actually still in it mathematically. A lot of things got to happen for them to get in. But so the Mets have the Cubs and the Marlins, 1 game ahead of the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Reds for that last wild card spot. And that would be the Dodgers' opponent Tuesday at Dodger Stadium in the first round if the Dodgers end up as the 3 seed. And they're 1 win away from doing that. And yeah, you know what? I think, 5-4 win yesterday. We suffered. They could drive a man to drink, are the Dodgers, after blowing a 4-1 lead. Blake Snell didn't have his best stuff, but got through it. 6 innings, 5 hits. He ended up 95 pitches, 5 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Another great outing by Blake Snell. Dodgers ended up using 8 pitchers in that game last night. It felt like a playoff game, and so did the Diamondbacks, who are, by the way, fighting for their playoff lives as well. Clayton Kershaw, very interesting spot for him. He pitched the 9th inning, a scoreless 9th inning. The game was already tied at 4. So, again, I don't know if Kershaw has a role, at least in the wild card series. So he is basically telling the Dodgers, hey, I can pitch out of the bullpen. It was his day to throw. Clayton is scheduled to pitch on Sunday in the season finale in Seattle, and we're hoping those games don't mean anything. So could Clayton Kershaw be more of a long guy, relief, bulk innings guy? Again, I think that's going to be that's what the Dodgers are going to do. They're going to have their principal starter, which will be Ohtani, Snell, Yamamoto, and then they're going to back that up with Kershaw's, Sheehan's, Roboleski, and see if they can go bulk innings. And by the way, Tanner Scott did not even sniff the field yesterday, as the Dodgers gave him the night off again. Blake Trinan ended up getting the win as he pitched, got out of a spot in the 8th inning. Later on, I'm sorry, not the 8th inning, later on in the game, Dodgers ended up winning 5-4 in 11 innings, with Roboleski ended up getting the last out with that, of course, man on third because of that extra runner because of extra innings. So the Dodgers 1 win away, so it turns out 90 wins will win the division for the Dodgers. And the one thing that stands out from last night is Roki Sasaki. For all the things that happened, we saw Kershaw out of relief, we saw Snell struggle but get through it. Tommy Edman had 3 hits for the Dodgers. Mookie Betts was all over the place. Ohtani had a triple. But what stood out was the 23-year-old Roki Sasaki, who came in relief. They brought him in a perfect spot for him, which I think this is going to be his role in the postseason. Dodgers were up 4-1. Snell came out after 6 innings. Sasaki pitched the 7th and flat out dominated. A scoreless 7th, 2 strikeouts, 13 pitches to retire the side, hit the high 90s. We're talking 98, 99 multiple times, even hit 100 a couple times. And maybe that will be your Dodger closer in the postseason. That's a lot to put on a guy who hadn't pitched since May in his rookie year. It's the first time he's ever pitched in relief. Certainly in the big leagues, they put him to pitch in relief in AAA as part of his rehab assignment. Remember, he had a bad shoulder. He was 1-1 with an ERA of 4.72. Didn't really look that good as a starter. Don't know how much of it was headspace. Don't know how much of it was physical stuff. But he came in a perfect spot. Dodgers did a great job bringing him in a lead to see what he can do, and he absolutely dominated. Now, there's a difference between the 7th inning and a 3-run lead on a Wednesday in Arizona and trying to get the last out in a big-time playoff game in Philadelphia, because that's who the Dodgers would play in the division series if they get past the wild card series. Big difference, but you know what? The journey of 1,000 steps begins with one, and Roki Sasaki looked amazing. And looky here, we may have found a closer. We'll see how they bring him in and move him along, if he'll pitch again today, if he will pitch in Seattle over the weekend. My guess is he'll pitch 1 point in Seattle. Maybe he'll back up Kershaw on Sunday as the Dodgers get ready for a Tuesday wild card series game against either the Mets, the Diamondbacks, or the Reds. But it was amazing to see Sasaki. It was great to see him pitching well. And the one thing that I noticed about Sasaki had nothing to do with anything is how big of a glove does this guy have? He had this monster yellow glove on at one point. I was like, my goodness, Roki, what's going on with that? But he has come back. Kirby Yates has been put on the IL. I think we're not going to see him the rest of the year. I think he's not going to make a playoff run. And I think we had a lot of auditions last night. Roboleski came in, got some big outs. Kershaw out of the bullpen. Certainly Sasaki out of the bullpen. Interesting stuff as we get closer to the postseason. But Roki Sasaki may have just solidified his spot in the postseason. Would love to hear what you've got to say about that. How you feel about a 23-year-old kid putting in these high leverage situations. Again, I don't think they're going to put him as a closer. I don't think he's got the headspace for it, but he sure did look good. Last night in the desert. Well, we've always asked you to be part of the show. We've got tons of comments from you. It's amazing. But before the comments, let's get to today's starting pitcher. It's Yoshinobu Yamamoto, right? Look at these numbers. He has been the unquestioned ace of this team. 28 innings. His last 28 innings, he's given up 3 earned runs. That's an ERA of under 1, 0.96, 37 strikeouts in those last 4 starts. That's beginning with the near no-hitter in Baltimore. So his last 4 starts, including that near no-hitter in Baltimore, 0.96 ERA, 3 earned runs in 28 innings, 37 strikeouts. The unquestioned ace of this team. He'll be making his 4th start against the Diamondbacks this year. He's 0-1 with 2 no decisions, but he's got a chance to close out business today. And it'll be curious to see what they do because he's pitching on a Thursday. So would he pitch game 2? Next Wednesday? Would he pitch? Would you keep him for a game 3? Looks like Ohtani would pitch game 1 of the wild card series. Then what do you do for 2? Do you bring back Yamamoto? Do you save Yamamoto for a game 3 winner take all? Snell has earned his spot as well. It's a good problem to have. You go righty, lefty, righty, or is this one of these situations as you know you're going to dip into those starters? So do you go Ohtani, and then who follows Ohtani? Is it Sheehan? I think so. Then Snell. Who follows Snell? Is it the same pattern we saw today with Sasaki and Kershaw? And then does Yamamoto, do you keep him for a game 3 winner take all, and then you save him for Game 1 in Philadelphia. That to me seems to be the plan. I don't think there's any issue going with Ohtani, Snell, Yamamoto in the wild card series. Then you have Glasnow to pitch Game 1 in Philadelphia. If you wrap it up in 2, then you've got Yamamoto and Glasnow, and you're in real good shape to take on the Phillies in the division series. But Yamamoto deserves his props, despite being the ace. He might not pitch till Game 3, but I think you keep him long term. Pitching a potential winner take all Game 3, and then obviously if you get past that in 2 games, you get him to start Game 1 in Philadelphia. All right, yeah, be part of the show. That's what we love to hear from you guys. And, it's been a ride with this bullpen, this leaky bullpen, this bullpen that has been hot garbage, trash, whatever you want to call it. They have kept us on our toes. And yeah, this pretty much sums it up, right? Not since the days of Don Mattingly as manager have I had zero trust in the bullpen. I remember when they used to put Kershaw out there and say, hey, buddy, it's you. And, and obviously Kershaw would unfortunately just run out of gas 7th, 8th, 9th inning, and it cost the Dodgers a playoff game. But yeah, not since the Don Mattingly days. That's when the Dodgers first began this run of division championships. They're trying to win, the division for the 12th time in the last 13 years and for the 5th straight. But it was Mattingly who started all this run as the manager. And here is what I think is our comment of the year. And I'll give you an applause. I trust Kiki Hernandez as a closer more than Tanner Scott. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. I think we, between the helmet and the swag, I think we all trust Kike Hernandez more than Tanner Scott. And I don't think we'll see it, but boy, wouldn't that be something for the record books if we had Kike Hernandez pitching in a postseason game. Maybe the Dodgers will be up 10-0 in a game, and you could bring him in, and we could. Santa Claus will have gotten our letter for that. But hey, today, Champagne Thursday in Arizona. Remember when the Dodgers won the division a few years ago in Arizona, and they told the Dodgers they couldn't celebrate in the pool, and they all jumped in the pool anyway? And that really kind of started this rivalry between the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Might be a little payback for 2022 or 2023 when Arizona knocked the Dodgers out of the playoffs, swept them in the first round, and Arizona ended up making a World Series run in 23 out of that. So it would be nice to see the Dodgers clinch in Arizona. And hey, Dodgers and Diamondbacks could be seeing each other Tuesday at Dodger Stadium because the Diamondbacks are only 1 game out of that last wild card spot. Great stuff. Yamamoto today, and then the Dodgers head to Seattle against a Mariner team who, by the way, has already won the division, but they're only 1 game behind the Yankees for the number 1 seed in the American League in home games throughout the playoffs. So they have something to play for. So the Dodgers, it would behoove them to wrap things up today and then not have anything to worry about and see Cal Raleigh try to finish his MVP season. He's already hit 60 home runs as a catcher, switch hitter. A remarkable season for Cal Raleigh up in the Pacific Northwest. All right, back at it tomorrow. Kershaw will pitch Sunday in Seattle. Dodgers kind of haven't figured out who's going to pitch the weekend. My guess it'll be Glasnow on Friday. Don't know about Saturday, and then obviously Kershaw on Sunday. Hopefully the Dodgers will have a nice jovial flight from Phoenix to Seattle as NL West champions. We'll talk about it all tomorrow. Sasaki, the new closer, love to hear from you. Despite it all, even on a Champagne Thursday, it's always time for Dodger baseball.